explore the daily struggles of civilians in war-torn Aleppo, Syria, where over 1 million people were displaced and 100,000 lost their lives, and meet people like Amira, a young mother who rebuilt her life amidst the ruins. Aleppo, Syria's largest city, was devastated by a brutal civil war that lasted from 2012 to 2016. Over 1 million people were displaced, and 100,000 lost their lives in the conflict. Before the war, Aleppo was a thriving metropolis with a rich history dating back over 8,000 years. The city's ancient historic center, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, was severely damaged during the war. Civilians like Amira, a young mother, were forced to adapt to a new reality of constant bombings and shortages. Learn how Apple co-founders Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak built the first Macintosh computer in Jobs' parents' garage, and how their humble beginnings led to a $2 trillion empire. In 1976, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak founded Apple in Jobs' parents' garage in California. The first Apple computer, the Apple I, was hand-built by Wozniak and sold for $666.66. The Apple II, introduced in 1977, was one of the first highly successful mass-produced personal computers. In 1980, Apple went public, making Jobs a multimillionaire at just 25 years old. The Macintosh 128K, launched in 1984, was the first commercially successful computer to use a graphical user interface. Today, Apple is the world's largest publicly traded company, with a market capitalization of over $2. Uncover the story of the Empire of Vietnam, which lasted only 10 months in 1945, making it one of the shortest-lived empires in history. In August 1945, Vietnam declared independence from France, marking the beginning of the Empire of Vietnam. The Empire of Vietnam was established with Emperor Bao Dai as its head, a former puppet ruler for the French. The new empire was technically a puppet state of Japan, which had occupied Indochina during World War II. On the 2nd of September 1945, Ho Chi Minh declared the establishment of the Democratic Republic of Vietnam, rivaling the empire. The Empire of Vietnam collapsed in October 1945, when Japan surrendered, ending its own occupation of Indochina. The 10-month Empire of Vietnam ended with Bao Dai's abdication, paving way for the First Indochina War. Learn how to find food and shelter in the rainforest with expert tips from Bear Grylls, who has spent years exploring the Amazon and has advice on everything from building a shelter to catching fish. Rainforests cover only 6% of the Earth's surface, but house over 50% of all plant and animal species. In the rainforest, finding or creating a water source is crucial, as dehydration can set in within hours. Bear Grylls recommends building a lean-to shelter using fallen branches and leaves to protect from the elements. The Amazon rainforest is home to over 2,000 species of fish, making fishing a reliable food source. Coconuts are a versatile food source, providing water, milk, and meat, and can be found in many rainforests. High-ranking Nazi officials, including SS officers, were among the passengers on the Wilhelm Gustloff. The Wilhelm Gustloff, a German ocean liner, was evacuating civilians and Nazi officials from East Prussia in January 1945. Among the passengers were over 100 high-ranking Nazi officials, including SS officers and party leaders. These officials were fleeing the advancing Soviet Red Army, which was closing in on Berlin. The ship was also carrying a large stash of stolen treasure, including gold, silver, and precious jewels. On the 30th of January 1945, the Wilhelm Gustloff was torpedoed by a Soviet submarine, resulting in one of the deadliest maritime disasters in history. The sinking of the Wilhelm Gustloff remains a little-known chapter in World War II history, with many questions still. Witness the shocking defeat of the U.S. 7th Cavalry Regiment at the hands of the Lakota, Cheyenne, and Arapaho tribes in 1876, led by Crazy Horse and Sitting Bull. The Battle of Little Bighorn was fought on the 25th of June 1876, near the Little Bighorn River in Montana Territory. The U.S. 7th Cavalry Regiment, led by Lieutenant Colonel George Armstrong Custer, was vastly outnumbered by the Native American forces. Crazy Horse and Sitting Bull led the combined forces of the Lakota, Cheyenne, and Arapaho tribes, totaling around 8,000 warriors. The Native American tribes were aware of the approaching cavalry and prepared an ambush, using the terrain to their advantage. The battle lasted only about an hour, resulting in the deaths of Custer and over 260 of his men, with only one confirmed Native American casualty. Learn about the Anglo-Zanzibar War, which lasted only 38 minutes. The Anglo-Zanzibar War was fought between the United Kingdom and Zanzibar on the 27th of August, 1896. The war lasted only 38 minutes, making it the shortest war in recorded history. The conflict began when Zanzibar's pro-British Sultan Hamad bin Thuwaini died suddenly. The opposing faction, led by Khalid bin Bargash, seized power and threatened British interests. The British responded with an ultimatum, which was ignored, prompting a naval attack on Zanzibar. The war ended with Zanzibar's surrender, and Khalid bin Bargash fled to the German consulate for asylum. Learn about the record for the most own goals scored in a single season by a team in the English Premier League, held by Sunderland, with 10 own goals in the 2002-2003 season. The record for most own goals in a Premier League season is held by Sunderland. In the 2002-2003 season, Sunderland scored a shocking 10 own goals. This unfortunate record was achieved in just 38 matches that season. The team's struggles led to relegation that year, a harsh end to the season. Several Sunderland players contributed to this record, a painful memory for the club. This Premier League record still stands today, a dubious honor for Sunderland. Learn about the record-breaking achievement of the game, Subway Surfers, with over 1 billion downloads on the Google Play Store. Subway Surfers is a popular endless runner mobile game developed by Kilu and Cybo Games. The game was released in 2012 and has since become a global phenomenon. In 2018, Subway Surfers became the first game to cross 1 billion downloads on the Google Play Store. The game's success can be attributed to its simple yet addictive gameplay and regular updates with new content. Subway Surfers has been downloaded in over 200 countries and territories worldwide. The game's massive success has earned it a spot in the Guinness World Records as the most downloaded mobile game of all time. Discover why Okinawa, Japan, is considered a longevity hotspot, with over 900 centenarians and an average life expectancy of 81.2 years, and learn about their unique diet and lifestyle habits. Okinawa, Japan has the highest percentage of centenarians in the world, with over 900 living there. The traditional Okinawan diet is 30% lower in calories than the average Japanese diet, promoting weight management. Goya, a type of bitter melon, is a staple in the Okinawan diet, rich in antioxidants and anti-inflammatory properties. Okinawans practice a concept called hara hachi bu, eating until 80% full to prevent overeating and reduce stress. The island's unique OAI social support system provides a sense of community and belonging, reducing feelings of loneliness.